Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review and thoughts on the first season of The Americans, which aired on the FX network. Philip and Elizabeth Jennings are two KGB spies in an arranged marriage who are posing as Americans in suburban Washington, D.C. shortly after Ronald Reagan is elected president. The couple have two children, Paige and Henry, who are unaware of their parents' true identities. The complex marriage becomes more passionate and genuine each day, but is continually tested as the Cold War escalates. As Philip begins to warm up to America's values and way of life, his relationship with Elizabeth becomes more complicated. Further complicating things is the arrival of the Jennings' new neighbor, FBI agent Stan Beeman, who is part of a new division of the agency tasked with fighting foreign agents on U.S. soil. The drama series was created by former CIA agent turned author Joe Wiesberg. And hey, what's up you guys, Bloody Jacob here to give you some of my thoughts on the first season of The Americans. Like I said, it aired on the FX network. It actually ended some time ago, but I've been really checking it out again on Amazon Prime. Now The Americans is a show I've been meaning to watch more for quite a while. I mean, I watched an episode or two here and there, over the past year or two, but you know me, I watch 10 things at once, but now I've been really focusing on it. And I gotta say, The Americans is a very, very, very good show. I was really impressed by it. I'm already about 5 or 6 into the second season. You know me, I take my time with shows too. I don't binge watch things a whole lot. I just sort of like things settling and taking my time with the pacing and stuff like that according to how it goes. Sometimes I watch a chunk of things at once, but generally I like to just sort of enjoy it while it lasts and everything. FX has a number of shows I've been really, really fond of at this point. The Americans now, Justified, Sons of Anarchy, The Strain, one of my all-time favorite shows. So yeah, their number is growing. But yeah, this show is very good. It's one of the most. It's just a show you really feel like you have to pay attention to. I found myself when I first started watching it, really having to zero in on every conversation. It's a very it is complex. You feel like you gotta really pay attention to every conversation, or you might sort of miss some sort of indication of something, or some more subtle character meaning or whatever. It's a very well written, well portrayed show. It's a very well planned out show from what I can tell so far as well. It's a one of those you could call a slow burn drama kind of thing, and it is. But at the same time, it is very engaging. I've never felt bored with it necessarily. I appreciate again how they pace things out and how they plan things out so far. And at the same time, I can jump into an episode and it feels like things are always moving. There's always some kind of moving pieces or something like that. So I'm very impressed by the show, and I really like the first season. First off, we gotta talk about our two lead characters. Of course, Keri Russell, Keri Russell, who plays Elizabeth, and Matthew Rhys, who plays Philip. Both very, very good. And like I said, they're posing as this sort of stereotypical American family, just trying to live their best lives and everything, but of course they have this long history with each other and their own sort of upbringing, in Russia and such. But yeah, both of them are very, very, very good. I could not have imagined any casting turning out better than what they have done here, even again, just off of barely more than one season for me. I know Matthew Rice, he not too long ago actually won a Golden Globe, I believe, for his performance, which is very deserved. And it's interesting. It's an interesting aspect, with him actually sort of growing more, like the description I read says, more fond of American values, and just sort of the people that makes him care about it a little bit more. But still, they're both very committed to the cause right now. But there's again a lot of things at play. I gotta say though, my favorite character is by far Keri Russell's Elizabeth. I feel like she's the most complex and the most compelling. Definitely has the the biggest, most explored history from what I can see on the show so far, and I find her almost really fascinating in a way. It's got that Black Widow type of thing going on with her in a way. From what I can see of her past and everything, but I've barely seen any of it so far. But it's very good, and I don't think anyone could have been more convincing than her portrayal and performance so far. It bugs me that she hasn't gotten an award or anything, because she is phenomenal, like one of the best female characters in any show I've ever seen. And again, if I'm saying that off of like 1.5 seasons basically for me right now, then what am I going to say about a series end? And you also got to spotlight Margot Martindale, who's been in a high number of shows. She was in Justified season 2, and she's their handler here, and they have a very sort of conflicting relationship, with how she wants to handle things, her motivations, then again the increasing conflicting feelings of that Elizabeth and Philip are feeling, dealing with everything, sort of more hands-on and stuff. From such a different perspective. There's a great, well, not great for them, but one of the great episodes of the first season is, I think it's around like 6, 7, somewhere in there. Margot Martindale basically had to set them up to be sure they weren't these moles or these ones, sort of leaking information basically. Then Elizabeth snaps and sort of breaks out and just really bashes Margot Martindale's face. I love how physically capable Elizabeth is too. I'd even put my money on her in a fight over Philip, if I'm being honest. So that part's always fun as well. And again, it's a drama, but when there is action, when there is violence or anything like that, it feels almost visceral. It feels real. It feels important. So that's another part of it I love. And then I got to talk about Noah Emmerich as Stan Beeman, whose story in this is mainly revolved around the death of his friend over one of Philip's missions. He doesn't know that. And also his relationship with Nina, who he's using as like a way of means of getting information from one of these embassies and such. I will say his relationship with Nina is one of my least favorite aspects of the show. But that's like my personal taste, I guess, or my personal particular favorites, I guess. But I do think Stan is a great character. Noah Emmerich does a great job. A lot of you guys, including myself, might know him from The Walking Dead in the first season. He was, the CDC, actually. And he's a very good actor. I mean, I think he deserves to lead his own show. And you root for him. He sort of has a crumbling marriage as well, from not, being so just, wrapped up in his work and everything like that. So that's another part of it as well. Every character has their own thing going on, and it's all tying together. And again, I'm only a season and a half in, but I get the feeling it's going to end up being like a Hank and Walt situation, maybe, when Stan eventually finds out that Philip and Elizabeth are the couple they're looking for. You guys have seen Breaking Bad, which I'm sure most of you have. I imagine it's going to be some form of it, but we'll see how it goes, or I will anyway. Then you have Martha. I don't have the actress's name up right now, but I think she's a likable character as well, who Philip's trying to maintain another side relationship with as a means of keeping a certain awareness at play and stuff like that. I like her as well. I do enjoy that sort of side plot a little bit more than I do the Nina thing. The Nina thing's alright. Like I said, it's probably my least favorite part of the show, but laying out how to break up scenes pretty well, I think. I mean, so you don't spend too much time with some of the side characters, I guess, even though they're well done as well. But our main focus is Elizabeth and everything here. And I like the kids as well, especially the girl who, the young actress who plays Paige. Again, these kids have like no idea, their parents' real identities or, what they're actually doing there and stuff. So, you get some conflict within the family of when, Paige wants to meet new friends or, do these other, sort of outside the box things, and, they're questioning how to handle themselves in an American family and stuff like that. Honestly, some of the best scenes of the show so far are when they're just having, dinner at the table and such, and you get sort of, look at their, altering perspectives and everything and how they handle, these, apple pie kind of situations. It's kind of a supernatural thing, but you know what I mean by that. So yeah, you really get to care about them as a family as well. There's just so much I could say about this show. There's a lot of tension in it. Again, you really feel like you gotta pay attention. And I'm really enjoying the second season as well. I really like the first season. I'm giving it like a 8.8, 88%, B+, and it's probably only going to go up from there, I'm guessing. Let me guys thought about the first season of The Americans without spoilers. How does it compare with the rest of the series for you? So, yeah, I mean, it's hard to say how I think the series will end at this point. I mean, these types of stories never end too pretty, in terms of the fates of the main characters, but crossing my fingers, we'll see, as long as it's well done. But yeah, really love The Americans. I already sort of have the box set of the entire series in my Amazon cart, or save for later section, for when I watch just a bit more, but I'm not confident in it already. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.